What's going on YouTube? This is Instant Poison and I am playing Call of Duty Black Ops. I am playing Domination on Summit while using the red dot AK-47. Right here, there's only 3 people on the other team, so that's sure to make a great, long, exciting gameplay. I'm just kidding, don't worry, it gets better, more people join. But that's not what I'm going to talk about today. Instead, I'm going to talk about a topic that a lot of you have been asking for recently, and that's how to be a better commentator. By no means am I the world's best commentator, and I'm well aware of that. So this is just my own opinion, my own advice that I have to give, and if you want to listen, great. If you don't think I'm the best commentator, well then fine, just ignore this video and move on. But getting right into it, one of the first things you're going to want to look for, a lot of people, the Call of Duty scene has just blossomed, especially in the last couple of years, last 2 years I would say, and there's just commentators, gameplays, montages, they're coming up everywhere, and it's really hard to break into the market unless you have original ideas, original commentaries, you're hilarious, or you have a foot in the door, you know somebody. So commentaries and gameplays can be broken up into general parts. The first being visual. One of the things that you just have to understand is that people, with the market being so popular and so many people trying to become, you know, the next big thing, you really are going to need to have high quality videos. It's just the sad truth. Standard definition is just not cutting it nowadays, and most people are looking for HD, and immediately when clicking on a video it's hard to keep somebody engaged if it's not the best quality. You know, there's video lag, there's any kind of blurriness to it, and people are just going to get easily annoyed and probably not want to come back. So I personally use the Hauppauge HD PVR. I also know there's one called the Black Magic, I believe, which is slightly more advanced than this. You actually insert it into the computer, it's an actual circuit board. So if you are using something like you know, a Dazzle or a Pinnacle, I'd strongly recommend upgrading if you have the means. It's just something that it's probably going to be necessary to make it past, you know, just a few hundred subscribers. People are just looking for that in all aspects of the community now. Another thing is to perfectly crop and fit your screen. I actually had this problem a lot of times, and hopefully I can remember it to take it out of this video before I put it up. But a nice man pointed it out to me in one of the comments, and I actually had this little black line on the left side of my screen. And as subtle as it is, I didn't even notice it, but he did. And it's something that, it makes you look unprofessional. You want to look like you know what you're doing. You want to look like you've been doing this for a while, that you're experienced. And simple little things like that, squishing an image or anything like that, or cutting out an important part, or having too much, it does throw people off, and it does make you look a little bit like you don't know what you're doing. And people want to feel comfortable. They want to feel like you are a good, you know, strong commentator and a strong gameplay, and it's just these little things that can easily throw some people off. Not everybody, it's not the end of the world, but if you notice these things, try to improve on them. Something that you can do is play with your video settings. A lot of times, not as much in Black Ops, but in Modern Warfare 2 and other games, I noticed that there's a little bit of discoloration on the screen, and it causes for almost a cheap looking feel. Almost makes your HD recordings not look as good. I record in iMovie, and I love to play around with the visual settings and the colors and things like that, just to make it look a little bit brighter and a little bit more nice on the eyes. Sometimes in Modern Warfare 2 for sure, if you look on some of my older videos, you notice almost a slight haze on the screen, almost like the color's been, it's lost a little bit of its color, and it's just not fun to look at. It's not as enjoyable. So play around with your settings. Everybody has different programs. I can't really help you out entirely unless you're using iMovie, but then it's pretty basic. And so, you know, just play around and get used to it. Just go for what looks nice. Try to make it look a little bit better than probably what you're recording. The opposite of visual would be audio. I highly recommend getting a high quality microphone. I have a MacBook Pro, and I just use the built-in microphone. For now, I think it works fine. You know, you guys can be the judge of that, but I personally don't think it's that big of a problem. But I do know there's several other external mics, just USB mics. If you have, you know, a little bit of a humming or a buzz in the background, it's just something annoying, and after a 10-minute video, people just, they don't really want to watch it or listen to it. So if you can invest in just a high quality mic, just any USB that doesn't have that buzz, it's a really great idea for your listeners. Something you also want to do with your own vocals is avoid annoying sounds or accenting words. Things such as accenting your P's or your T's, as in puffs or tuss, can get really annoying throughout the video, and if you can try to keep those to a minimum and just have your words flow correctly and without any accents on certain letters, then it sounds a lot better. Simple things like that, like maybe having a lisp or creating little annoying sounds, could be annoying to your listeners over time. The same with slurping or breathing into the mic. Often commentators, I do it too, I know it's hard, will maybe take a breath or a sigh or a pause or maybe slurp like a And it can get really annoying hearing somebody do that over and over and over throughout a video, and you're not going to come back if a commentator has that constant slurping in the thing. Another thing is probably just blow your nose before. That's, you know, that kind of goes without saying, that's just hygiene, but it's really annoying also hearing somebody sniff throughout a whole commentary. Another thing that you want to do when talking and commentating over any gameplay is avoid annoying sounds such as, or annoying, not sounds, sorry, annoying words such as ums, uhs, or any other pauses where you get stuck. If you do get stuck, you know, it's not the end of the world to redo a commentary or maybe to pause it and restart. It's less annoying than hearing ums or uhs or pauses or I don't know what I'm talking about. They get really annoying throughout the video, and it's hard to get your topic across. You'd be amazed at how much you could talk about when you're actually keeping up with topic and you know what's going to come next. Something I personally do is I talk faster to avoid the ums and uhs. For some strange reason, most people would think it works opposite, but for me personally, if I talk faster, my mind just doesn't have the chance to get lost. I don't know why. Works for me, not everybody, but that's what I do. So now we've covered the audio and the visual, let's talk about the actual videos themselves. People are tuning in either to listen to your commentaries or to watch your gameplay. Some people are both, some people prefer just one, so that means you do not need necessarily to have the best gameplay. If you are a great commentator and you have great vocal skills and you convey great ideas and people like listening to you, that's often enough. And at the same time, if you're not always the best commentator, well, not necessarily. If you're a horrible commentator, people probably won't want to watch no matter how great your gameplay is. But if you are just an average commentator, like so many people out there, if you have spectacular gameplay, people will tune in. They will be interested. They will sit through and listen to what you have to say if they're still enjoying what they're watching on the screen. So as far as your gameplays go, it can either be a unique idea or it can be spectacular. If you are one of the first people to do something and it intrigues your viewers, then people are going to tune in and you're going to get views, let's be honest. If it's something that is absolutely unique and never been done before, people want to see things like that and they're going to enjoy it. If you're not going to have a new idea, it's often a good idea to have one of the best possible gameplays you can have or the best topics. If you're going to do something that maybe has been done before, if you can do it better than anybody else, that's another thing that's going to make people want to tune in. Copying the idea and changing it slightly is not new. If you're going to use the exact same idea and then just change, you know, a key feature, Road to Commander, only using one gun, is still Road to Commander. There's nothing different about it, and people are not going to want to watch it any more than any other Road to Commander. So don't just semi-change ideas unless you're going to do an amazing job on it. And look at that, 3 kills while I was getting shot out of that thing. Something else that you can do as your gameplays is not do things to piss people off. We all do it. I do it one of the worst. I think the last 3 gameplays I put up were famous gameplays, and I know people don't want to see that. But try to use different guns, try to use different perks, try to use, you know, different spots, all those things, different game types, because people get tired of watching the same guns and the same, you know, kill streaks and all that. And I know I do it, and it's hypocritical of so many commentators out there. But if you're trying to get started, then it's one of the best ideas and it's one of the best ways to get noticed. It is amazing to go 30-1. It's not amazing if you camp in the same spot the whole time. So make sure to listen to the community and don't piss them off. So another key aspect is your personality. People are going to want to tune in week after week and subscribe to you if they enjoy who you are as a person. Create a unique voice that engages the listener, and people will come back over and over for all of your videos. But be yourself. Don't try to fake it. Don't try to put on a voice or any other tones or anything like that. Speak your mind, and people will follow. If you try to fake it and try to act like somebody that you're not, nobody's going to want to watch you. If everybody tries to copy CNanners, then why watch you? Why not watch CNanners? There's no point. And let's be honest, it is weird talking to yourself in a room. Normally, I personally did not do this before commentaries. I've never really had a conversation by myself and had to drag it on for 11 minutes. So one of the best things is to create a commentary in which people feel engaged. If you feel like that the commentator is talking specifically to you, then you're going to want to watch the videos, you're going to want to comment, you're going to feel almost part of the conversation. And that's one of the great aspects of a commentator. If they can make you feel like they're actually talking to you and that they're not talking to themselves, then any commentary can be great. Something that I find really important, a lot of commentators, you know, may not. It's not the end of the world as long as you're, you know, maybe funny with it or still enjoyable. But I personally try to sound intelligent. I avoid foul language, stupid remarks, racist remarks, anything that's going to make me sound kind of like a dick or like I don't know what I'm doing, because people want to watch somebody that they can relate to, that they can respect, that they can look up to. And if you're constantly, you know, making stupid remarks or joking around, or it's okay to be funny, but to be an idiot, it's not as easy for people to relate to you. So I personally try to make myself sound like at least I know what I'm talking about, even though that may not always be the case. One of my last tips for creating a strong personality is to rewatch your videos. That's something that is really hard for a lot of people, self-evaluation, but it's probably the most important. Everybody grows. It's just a fact of being a commentator. It's a fact of anything that you want to do. You're going to get better in time, so you have to remember that your first commentary may not always be your best, and the best way to improve is to rewatch them over and over and over, realize what you've done wrong, realize what you would change, and then change it for your next video. As long as you're constantly improving, the subscribers will continue to come. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really hope these tips helped. If there's anything else that you want to see, just send me a private message and I'll be sure to get them covered for you. Don't forget to rate the video, comment the video, and subscribe. Peace!